Hello everyone, my name is Erica and my website is glamourbyerica.com, and this is my first YouTube video. So today I'm going to be going over the steps that I go through day to day to put on a basic base of makeup, foundation, primer, etc. How to get rid of your under eye circles, you know, the acne scars or acne in general, basic little tricks, and I'm going to go through things step by step. So first of all, I already have a cleansed face. I've exfoliated, and the exfoliator that I really love and I swear by is MAC, and this is the Microfine Refinisher, and I really love this product, and I use it on a dry face as opposed to wet, but that we'll get into later. And if anybody has any questions later on, you can go ahead and basically, you know, email me or just post questions. And my skin regimen is I use Borba, and I use their moisturizers, and I love them. So, first things first, we need to prime the skin. That eliminates the visible pores, etc., etc. So, I really love Smashbox. I like Photo Finish. For myself, I have oily skin that is acne prone, so I use the Smashbox Photo Finish Light, which is oil-free, and it really soaks up all that oil for summertime, especially when, you know, you're out in the heat and humidity and we're sweating and you don't want that shine. You don't want to look like an oil slick. But for regular skin, there's this one, which is the regular Photo Finish, but they do make products for every skin type and any kind of corrections needed. So what I'll do is I take the Photo Finish, and you don't really need much of it, so you're just going to use basically that much. And now I'm going to smush that around, apply that to my face. Make sure it goes into all the pores. And you're going to wait for that to set for a few seconds. And also I wanted to mention that the videos are going to be filmed in increments, just for the sheer fact that, you know, I have a time limitation on each video, and I want to show you how to create that step-by-step look, you know, including the eyebrows and everything else, because as you can see, I don't really have much of any eyebrow hair, and I've learned through the years how to disguise that appearance. So the first thing that I will be doing, excuse me, is I will be applying my foundation. Now, I basically like to use airbrush foundation, but for those of you that don't have an airbrush machine at home, you can use obviously your regular foundation, and I actually create foundation for my clients and for myself. It's water-based, and I only like to use water-based products just because it doesn't clog your pores and it's much better for your skin. So, these are the two colors I'm going to be working with. And the reason being is that I just actually got back from vacation, and my skin is a bit more tan than it usually would be. So I'm using the MAC 187 brush. It's a stippling brush. It has the goat hair. It's the dual fibre, I believe they call it. And I love it for foundation because it really does give that airbrush effect without having an airbrush machine. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take your foundation. I'm using a CD just for my palette, just because it's easy to get your foundation on there and get your brushes in there to apply it onto the brush. So I'm going to tap, and then I'm going to take the brush, and now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be tapping it on. Tapping it on. So you can see that color there, and I'm going to be smoothing it out and tapping it on. Tapping it on. And you can already see that foundation just gives much more of a flawless look to your face. It conceals all those little things, and yes, it is an extra step in your day, but it's worth the effort. So I'm going to get in there to the nose. And now I'm going to apply it to the forehead, and as you can see I have a blemish right there, of course. So I'm gonna tap that on, and you use really fast motions, as silly as it sounds. Even if your hair gets in there, you just kind of sweep it away and you continue going. And yes, you can still see that blemish, but that concealer part comes after. You don't want to put the concealer on first. I know some people say that you should apply it first, but I don't believe in that, because then once you put this on and you're moving the brush along, you're going to smear that concealer that you already applied, and it's just going to take away whatever your efforts were in the first place. So be sure to get your neck area, because you really want everything to match and look the same and just be absolutely flawless. Now at the end, when you're done with stippling, you're going to basically use the same brush and swirl everywhere. Now, if you don't have this brush on hand, I don't like to use sponges. I don't believe that they give optimal coverage. If the MAC brush is a bit too pricey, there are really great alternatives, like this L'Oreal Pro brush, which is very good, except for it does shed a bit more, but it is pretty comparable. Another great alternative is a really good kabuki brush, like this one, for example. A lot of people have this in their repertoire already, and you can use this for foundation as well, and you just go in circles as opposed to the stippling. You just buff it out. I use that for blending as well. So now that we're done with this brush, next I'm going to be using a basic concealer brush. It can be by any company, made by anyone, and then I'm going to go in with my Makeup Forever palette, and I'm going to be using this kind of peachy color right here next to the green one to conceal the under eye circles. Some people believe in using lighter colors to conceal the under eye, but that really leaves an unnatural finish. I mean, this is going to be slightly lighter comparing to your skin tone, but then again, I'll show you how to get rid of that appearance. So over here where I have the blues, even that little vein that I have right there, I'm going to just use that brush to go in there, and you're going to look up to really go under the eye. Now, your eye's trigger reaction is to slightly tear. I mean, I'm conditioned already to this because of years and years of practice, but it might tear. Just, you know, keep a Kleenex on hand and kind of wipe away those tears and continue to do what you're doing. So basically, you're going to go into those areas. Now, you can see that they're already beginning to disappear. You know, you don't want to look like you're wearing a mask, is our bottom line. So I'm going to go in a bit more in those areas that I want to lighten up, because the peaches and the peach colors, even the salmon-y color, will counteract the blues in your under eye area. So you can already see the difference between this area and this area. So then I'm going to continue to do that on the other side. And basically you're just going to be making smooth, short strokes, kind of like tap, 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 dab, dab, dab. Okay, and then you're going to smooth that out. And it really does make that difference. Also, if you like to use under eye cream, which I hope you do, do it obviously after you moisturize. You put that on top and you wait for it to soak into your skin. Do not apply the concealer right after, or excuse me, right before you do this. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of that concealer on top of the lid to get rid of any imperfections there. Now, we are going to cover up the pimples, those little pock marks, stuff like that. And what I'm going to be using is, well, the brush that I like to use is the Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage brush.